ARP dollars, American Rescue Plan. What's it looking like for the town of Tryon? Everybody got some cash, Zach. Everybody got some.
Yeah.
What do we want to do with it in the town of Tryon?
We're actually, both the CARES Act and the ARPA, we're finding ways in which to spend the money. CARES Act, for instance, we actually use that to pay the salary of police and fire. That was an allowable expense under the CARES Act. For us, it made the most sense because we were already going to pay that anyway, right? So we used the CARES Act money. The money we were going to spend in the operating budget just goes back into our coffers. So if we want to elect and say all that money can now go toward a new playground, we just wait a fiscal year and we buy a playground, build a playground. There were allowable expenses that you could do, and for us, we felt it would just be best to utilize it in the manner which made it easiest to get through. And then the following year, that money is freed up. We can do whatever we want to with it. And we're essentially doing the same thing with the ARPA money. We're doing a salary reimbursement portion to it, but it's basically for us the easiest thing to do. And this is the name of the game when it comes to federal government. They have a lot of stipulations on what you can and can't do, a lot of forms you have to fill out, and a lot of tracking that you have to do on this stuff. The easiest use of this expense is going to be for us to do the salary because it takes less of my time, it takes less of my staff's time. We still get the money at the end of the day. We can put it toward whatever we need to, and I think citizens would appreciate knowing that it takes me an hour to do this paperwork as opposed to a month of a couple hours a day, and it just, for us, it makes sense. We're not getting a lot of money like you see in the news. So we're very small compared to some of the numbers that you're seeing out there.
Well, and if they're going to give out money, look, Zach, I'm not going to argue with getting free money. Okay, if the federal government's going to give people money and I'm going to get some money, I'm going to spend it or I'm going to do something with it that's going to improve my life or the life of my citizens or my family, right? I think we can all agree on that. Let's put aside whether the dollars should be given.
Right.
It's been given, so let's move on from that part of the conversation. One of the things I think about is, okay, so if you go for a salary style payout, my concern becomes if it's within a fiscal year that it required an increase of salaries, how do you hedge then against the future where you have to increase revenues for a municipality to cover those costs future years down the road? Does that make sense? How do you balance, like, okay, you get a one-time chance now to use some dollars, but let's put it towards something that is going to, in the future, we have to then continue to sustain. What's that process like for you?
So for us, it was the idea, it was the concept of if you don't use it, it's going to go away, right? Every citizen in the town of Tryon is going to have to pay this whether they like it or not. It's not free money. It's coming out of their federal taxes. And more than likely, they're not going to be paying for it. Their children will. My 16-month-year-old child will be paying for this in 40 years. And the concept is, if they're offering us these dollars, we need to figure out a way to get every dollar that we can, leave nothing on the table, and put that into our coffers so that we get that, and at least it's not free money, but we at least get our portion that they are taking from us and giving back to us. You know what I mean?
I'm following you, Zach.
Right.
You caught me there on the free money piece. I didn't think you were that sharp, but you got me on that. So There you go. Kudos.
So the thing is, for us, the salaries, say our salaries are $20 a year. We're using that $20 from the government to pay that $20. We're not really we're not doing the one-time increases. We did that. We gave all of our we gave all of our staff members $2,000 for working through COVID because all of our all of our staff, we told them, you got to come in. You can't just not put water and sewer into the ground. You can't not fix the leaks. You can't not have police. You can't not have fire. So by doing that, we said, we'll just do something nice. We gave them $2,000 a piece. But that didn't come out of any of that free money. That came out of the town's coffers. And then we're taking this free money, we're putting it toward the salaries. We're not really increasing the salaries with the money, so it's basically for us, it's just a wash. It's just use that money, and then the following year we can take it and put it where it needs to go.
And I was joking with you before. I know you're sharp.
Oh,
so
no, dude, you're good.
I don't want people to think otherwise.
No, you're good. You're good.
That I would disparage you like that. So